All right, Central Texas sports fans, thanks for joining us for another webcast. Rick, we're still here doing these, so that must mean there's still some teams playing. In fact, we have 5 teams in our area playing state semifinal games, so we're going to break this webcast into 3 questions. The first question is, both LaGrange and New Braunfels have very big uphill battles to face this weekend. LaGrange has Carthage, which is a defending champion, has the second longest winning streak in the state behind Lake Travis. And New Braunfels has Katy, which has won a couple state championships in the last couple of years. Do either of those 2 teams have a shot to get an upset this weekend?
Well, they both have a shot, definitely. But when you go to the LaGrange game, the interesting thing about that game is LaGrange quarterback Josh Snyder has thrown for 36 touchdowns. And on the converse side, Carthage quarterback has thrown for 37 touchdowns. So I think they got a shot. LaGrange has been playing awfully well lately. Carthage is barely getting by teams. They were 28-21 the other day. I see that they have a shot. You were mentioning New Braunfels. Well, John Simmons is a decent quarterback, maybe an average quarterback, but they can beat them if they can throw, because they gave up 277 yards passing last week. So it depends on if he can pass the ball.
I gotta say, I like New Braunfels' chances a lot more than I like LaGrange's. I got to see Carthage a couple weeks ago against Caldwell. The score, I think, was 56-41. The score was a lot more deceptive than the actual reality was, because Carthage pulled all their starters at the beginning of the second half, and Caldwell made a run. That Carthage team is very good, very solid. LaGrange has had a nice run, but I just think it's probably going to stop in this round. New Braunfels, they're definitely going to go in this game as the underdogs, but Katy is beatable. They've lost at least once this season. New Braunfels have been playing really well on defense this postseason. First round, they completely bottled up Josiah Monroe and Bastrop. Last week, they stopped Noah Copeland, the very fine San Antonio Brandeis running back, and they had something like 4 turnovers in the first half, and they only allowed Brandeis to score once. So that defense is playing very, very well. John Bordano, very fine linebacker over there. So I gotta say, I like New Braunfels' chances a lot more than I like LaGrange. Second question, we've talked about them all season. Lake Travis, they're going for a 3rd straight championship. They have struggled at times this postseason, have had 2 very close games against Steele and Alamo Heights. Alamo Heights was last week. Is Lake Travis going to win this week? They played Pearland Dawson. Are they going to get to that state championship game again?
I think they're going to have a tougher time in the state championship game, probably against Geyer.
Yeah.
But the thing about Dawson is they held the opposing team to 122 yards passing the other day. So that's a message right there to Michael Brewer, who is obviously one of the best quarterbacks in the state. So if Lake Travis can continue the way they pass, they're going to win this game fairly easily. I shouldn't say easily. I think maybe between 14 and 20 points.
Yeah.
But somewhere around there.
I agree with you there. Lake Travis, a little bit different for their fans this year. They've been used to, being able to pretty much go home after halftime and, use that second half as a time of recreation. But they've been having to pay attention to the second half because Lake Travis has been playing some pretty close games. I think this game is going to be pretty easy walkthrough. I think Lake Travis is better at almost every position than Dawson is, but that championship game is going to be probably a championship game more like the 2007 one where they only won by 2 points than the 2008 one last year where they kind of rolled to another title. Last question. 2 teams we haven't talked about, Stony Point and Westlake. They're on opposite ends of the Class 5A Division I bracket. Is there a chance those 2 will be meeting for a state championship game? Stony Point plays Trinity this weekend, and Westlake plays Katy Cinco Ranch over at DKR.
Well, I think that there's a definite chance. In fact, I think they're both going to win. One, Westlake has the home field advantage, and you can't beat that. Thing about Cinco Ranch is they run 80% of the time. They only had 8 passes last week in their game. And Westlake's strength on defense is against the run. So Westlake has looked awfully good against the run in the last 3 weeks. Stony Point, to me, has been the most outstanding team in the playoffs in my eyes. What I saw in Houston last week was they held a team to 26 yards rushing, and that was Cy Woods. And Cy Woods is an outstanding football team, and Stony Point made them look bad on both sides of the ball. So I'm going to pick an Austin Round Rock state championship game.
Yeah, I think Westlake's probably the favorite in their game against Katy Cinco Ranch for the reasons you just pointed out. If you're going to beat the Chaps, you have to be able to throw on them. San Antonio Clark, similar kind of game plan, had to run the ball a lot last week, and Westlake just stuffed the line and didn't allow anything to happen, and their defense really led the way last week. Stony Point, the game's going to be a little bit more difficult. Trinity did score 88 points earlier this playoffs. In a playoff game earlier in the postseason, but I don't think that's going to happen against Stony Point. That team destroyed a really good Cypress Woods team last week, and they're clicking on defense, on offense, and on special teams. Sam Kelly had that huge touchdown return last week. So I like the idea of a Stony Point Westlake Championship next week at the Alamo Dome. So I guess if that happens, we'll be back here to talk about it.
Either way, it's been an outstanding season for Central Texas football to have 5 teams in state semis. It's pretty amazing.
All right, join us next week as we talk about the state championship games.